Hello everybody and happy Mother's Day to you. Dr. Price here. It is Sunday afternoon and I hope everybody's having a great Mother's Day. It's beautiful out here. It's a little windy and a little chilly, but man, it feels great. We talked yesterday a whole lot about depression and antidepressants. And one of the things I was trying to get to the point of when I ran out of time and when Lorelei went a little crazy was I was talking about the myth that depression is caused by a chemical imbalance. And I just wanted to kind of recover that and bring up that the theory about low serotonin and the theory about the fact that low serotonin was a cause of depression was brought up actually as an explanation for how these antidepressants work. It wasn't brought up because it was objective findings where they knew that people were low in serotonin. In fact, in 1983, before Prozac was even released, which is one of the first antidepressants, before that was even released, they found that low serotonin was not correlated with depression, but they still went ahead with that theory, and it's a pretty good marketing explanation of how these things work and why people need them. But there are no tests. Nobody ever gets tested for low serotonin to see if you need antidepressants. Now, we talked a lot about the negatives, about taking unipolar depressor and turning it into bipolar disorder, which obviously leads you down to a horrible path of disability due to antipsychotic drugs. We also talked about the fact that your mental function can start to decrease because you're messing with the neurotransmitters in the brain. And one other thing to think about is this: the body has regulatory systems in it. And what happens is when, for example, serotonin, whenever there are levels of serotonin in the body which are considered normal, there are mechanisms in which the body stops producing more serotonin. So you don't end up with too much serotonin. Okay, so that's normal. Well, when you take a serotonin reuptake inhibitor or an SSRI, your body doesn't uptake that serotonin, so it stays in your system. So what happens is your body becomes used to not having to make serotonin because it's always in your system because it's not absorbing it. Well, then when you try to come off of the antidepressant and your body starts taking that serotonin back up again, then you have the very thing that they're saying is the cause of what the problem is, and that is low serotonin. So it's a chemical pathway that you just do not want to get into a mess with. Now, I heard a theory a long time ago that makes absolute sense to me, and it's really helped me out when I've been in times of stress. And what that theory is this. A left brain is our emotional side of the brain. Let me make sure. I always get that confused. Let me look at my notes here real quick and make absolutely certain. Yes. Left brain is our logical side. See, for some reason I can't remember that. But anyway, left brain is our logical, our rational, our male side. And right brain activity is our emotional or our creative side. Now, what happens is whenever there's a stressor on your body, a stressor in your life. Oh, let me turn this TV down here. Whenever there's a stressor in your life, your body has a response. Your sympathetic nervous system creates your stress hormones, which is cortisol and so on and so forth. And your sympathetic nervous system is designed for what's called fight or flight. So if you're walking in the woods and you see a bear and that your body sees that bear, so your body kicks in with all these stress responses, and you either fight that bear or you run. There's a physical response that comes with that fight or flight. But what happens in our society today is that we have emotional stresses, stresses about money, stresses about time, stresses about our job, stresses about too much information overload. The guy in front of you driving and cutting you off, really pisses you off. That stresses you out. All these different things cause us to have a stress response. And because we don't physically move in our society, we sit all day at work, we drive in our car, and then we sit all day at home, and then we sit back and watch a TV. We don't have a physical response. So this stressor, these chemicals never leave. That's one way that can lead into chronic depression. And that's right brain activity that is never counteracted by the left brain activity, which is your action. Another way that it happens is, let's say that you do have emotional stress. Something happens to a family member, or you have an abusive family member or something like that, and you're chronically in this vicious cycle of thought, of right brain activity where you're emotionally just constantly feeling it, but you don't have that physical action to come in and activate the left side of the brain, which could counteract the right side. Okay, so action will counteract the emotional response and will help get rid of those stress hormones and get rid of the depression hormones. So what happens is, because we're sedentary, we're more prone to depression because we don't physically act. Physically acting changes the biochemistry of our body. That's why exercise is so critically important. Exercise is one of the best treatments for depression that there is. You don't feel like getting up and going and exercising. I know that. I know that. Trust me, there are times when I'm so stressed out, you just want to just lay in bed and hope it all goes away. But you have to get up, you have to exercise, and you have to confront what it is that's stressing you out. And you have to take some kind of an action to fix it. Action will help counteract that emotional response to things. In fact, Duke University did a study, and they had three groups of depressed people. One group did antidepressants only as their treatment. One group did exercise and antidepressants, and one group did exercise only as their treatment. At the 10-month follow-up point, the exercise-only group had the best cure rate and the best non-return of symptom rate. So in other words, exercise is a key and critical component to fixing and to help you get past depression. And you have to exercise correctly and moderately. You don't want to exercise too lightly. A slow, walk into the kitchen is not exercise. But you don't want to go out and run 10 miles either, because that'll create a whole new stress for your body. So you want to exercise properly and help get those endorphins released, help get things flowing in your body, get the biochemistry changed, and that'll help a lot with depression symptoms. Also, there are 4 lifestyle factors. The first one is you've got to address your stress, and we talked about that. If for example, with myself, there are a lot of times that I'll get stressed with things relating to the business or relating to a certain patient's treatment plan. That really stresses me out when a patient's not responding the way they should. And the best way to handle that is to dive in and research and figure out and make action. And sometimes I don't figure it out. Most of the times we do, but sometimes I don't figure it out. But I'll be honest with you, the simple act of acting on that stressor makes me feel better, and the depression goes away, and then I think more clearly, and most times the solution always, will appear. So you got to confront what it is that's stressing you. The other thing is food. Sugar will feed depression. Insulin will cause biochemical reactions in your body that will make you just go haywire if you're depressed. So you really got to control your food. The third thing is essential fatty acids. Essential fatty acids are critical for brain function, and I've got a whole series that I did on essential fatty acids. If you go up to the search bar up here and click in essential fatty acid, it'll pull up that series that we did, and you can watch those and see how you can get those. And then finally, you got to get enough sunshine. I know we're taught to avoid the sunlight, and it's going to cause skin cancer. And yeah, too much sunlight can contribute to skin cancer, especially if you eat a sugar diet. A high sugar diet is really, really toxic to your body. But excessive sunlight along with that can lead to predisposition for melanoma and different skin cancers. But if you can go out during the non-peak hours of the day from 8 in the morning until 10 in the morning, or 9 to 10 in the morning, and then from maybe 5 in the afternoon till 7 in the afternoon, or 4 to 6 or something like that, and expose as much of your body as possible to sunlight. You just want your skin to get a little bit pink, just a little bit, because after that little bit of pink comes in, your body stops making vitamin D, and vitamin D is critical to so many different factors in your life, and one of them is depression. We all know that you feel kind of invigorated after you go out to the beach and you've been in the sun and you've walked around in the sand. It feels good, and you get this energy, and that vitamin D is critical. It can really help you. So expose yourself to a little sunlight, okay? So these lifestyle factors, along with exercise, are things that you can really help you battle your depression. Again, I'm not telling you to get off your antidepressants. I can't do that. But if you decide that you want to, after doing some research and watching the videos that I'm including with this, please contact your medical doctor and have them help you get off of them, because you can have some really serious side effects that if you do it too quickly. All right, I got to go. 15 seconds left. As always, I wish you a happy Mother's Day, and I hope you to take control of your health before your health takes control of you. Have a great day. We'll see you Monday night, 4:30 to 6. Bye-bye.